Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we'll give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got an excellent show for y'all, but before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. So we're still kind of feeling the ripple effects of this NBA All-Star weekend that just passed, right? Mac McClung put on a hell of a show, but he was really the only real highlight of the weekend, but his dunks were incredible, man. His dunks were just absolutely incredible, spectacular. That dude put on a hell of a show, and he's single-handedly saving the All-Star slam dunk contest. Like, that dude is incredible. But anyway, he was the only real highlight, excuse me, of the weekend. But the rest of it was just terrible, especially the All-Star game itself. I think we gave you guys a stat where there were about 2.5 hours worth of commercial breaks and about 40 minutes of the actual game being played. Just a disgrace, right? Total disgrace. You had Kevin Hart there making the entire thing awkward with his weird jokes and like offbeat jokes or whatever. He was there as well. That made it weird. And then of course after that, the final ratings came out about the game, and it was the second lowest rated game in the history of the sport. A lot of people chimed in on it. We produced various topics on it. Even yesterday on Gil's Arena, they were pretty upset about some of the things that were being said. So this morning, I was just going through the internet here, and I came across an interesting article from Awful Announcing where they were reacting to some comments that Charles Barkley recently made on a podcast with Ernie Johnson. And essentially what Chuck was saying was that he was calling out the NBA players who were complaining about fans complaining. And he was basically saying to them, you guys don't have a right to talk. You guys don't have a right to talk. The reason you don't have a right to talk is because you guys are the reason that we're in this situation. It's because of you dudes that were trotting out all of these ridiculous ideas by changing up the format and trying anything we can to revitalize the weekend. And he went off on them. But before we even get into what Charles Barkley had to say, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports with over 10 million members. PrizePicks makes it easy to get real money action on the sports and players you love. You pick more or less on at least 2 for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. For example, this week on PrizePicks, I'm looking at the upcoming NBA schedule and selecting Stephen Curry for more than 29 points and Kevin Durant for more than 27 points and Anthony Davis for more than 12 rebounds and Luka Doncic for more than 8 assists. If you're like me and you like to play it safe, you'll love PrizePicks' new feature, Flex Plays. It's the safest way to play. You can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. Plus, you can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. On top of this, PrizePicks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money as quick as in 15 minutes. So download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do now is we're going to play exactly what Charles had to say here. I want you guys to take a listen to it in its entirety, and I'm going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to what Chuck had to say here.
All-Star Weekend.
There you go.
I want to just say the All-Star Weekend, you know, everybody's got an opinion. I'm going to take up for the players first and foremost a little bit. There were 2 minute breaks in between the games. I understand their gripes with that. Because you don't want to start playing basketball and stop. Number one, the tribute to us was really awesome, but it did break up the game. And then they had the 3-point thing with the young kid against Dame Lillard. They got to, if they want to do that, they got to do it. They can't stop the game in the middle. So I want to acknowledge that to the players. I understood their complaints and understood. That's the first thing. Secondly, I want to give some love to Mac McClung. Mac McClung, you've really been the highlight of the All-Star game the last 3 years. I thought you've been great. Congratulations on your 3-year run. I just want to say thank you, man, because you have been the highlight of the All-Star weekend for 3 years in a row. It's been incredible. Now, for the players complaining about the format, when you have kids and they screw up their room and you make them clean it up, shut the hell up and just clean up your room. You don't get the luxury of complaining because y'all screwed up the All-Star weekend. That's why we're out here trying kamikaze stuff to try to entertain the fans. Guys, we're so lucky and blessed. We're so lucky and blessed to make millions of dollars to play a stupid game. I wish y'all understood and appreciated how lucky and blessed we are. And you guys make more money than all the guys who did the heavy lifting before us. And bless you. I don't care how much money you make, but you do have an obligation to the game. And, people always talk about leave the game in a better place than you came in. I don't know if y'all understand that. Complaining about the All-Star format does nothing good for our product. The good thing about it, I'm not gonna lie, we don't have to televise that thing anymore. I'm not even upset because if y'all don't take it serious, why should the network and the fans take it serious? So y'all complaining about the format. Y'all are the reason the format's bad.
Or that the format was used.
Yes, and I'll say this, and I've said it for 5 to 7 to 10 years. International against the United States. Let's try it. Let's do that. So that's all I'm going to say.
So you heard what Charles had to say in response to players like Kevin Durant when he went out there and made those comments. What are my thoughts about this? Well, Charles made an interesting point. He said, look, the only people that are allowed to complain about this weekend are the fans and the former players, right? The current guys don't get to complain about it. His reasoning is simple, and I think it's succinct. You guys screwed it up. So you're in no position to talk about people complaining. Now, they brought up an interesting point yesterday on Gil's Arena where we were discussing this very thing, where athletes like Gil and others were like, well, the fans are complaining and this and this and this and this, but you didn't play the sport. These guys, I don't understand why they still are married to these various ways of thinking. It doesn't matter if the fans play the sport. I don't understand why you're running and hiding behind this thing about you played the sport. You don't have to play basketball to know whether or not you're watching a good basketball game. You don't have to play basketball. Stop the nonsense. Stop the nonsense. Stop the nonsense. Stop with this nonsense. You don't need to be a mechanical engineer or automotive engineer to understand that you're driving a crappy car that's not built well, that's not durable, that doesn't have good handling, doesn't have good balance. You don't need to know that. You can understand this by driving the car and having some basic knowledge of cars. You don't need to be a sous chef or chef to understand whether or not you're eating a delicious meal or not. You just don't need to be. You don't need to understand how they made the meal and all that went into it and how to be a fantastic chef. If you walk into a restaurant and you order a meal and they bring it to you, it doesn't taste nice. You don't need to be a chef to understand if this food is good or not. So get away from this. This sounds like an excuse. It sounds like another way to not take accountability for the crap that you made. Oh, the food is not bad. It's just that you don't understand how to eat it. That's the problem. The car is not bad. It's just that you don't understand how to drive it. It's like, bro, stop. Number one. Number two, stop assuming fans are dumb. Number three, why are you talking to your customers like that? I don't understand these guys. NBA players are the only players that get to insult their customers and then still expect them to patronize the product. Like, what are you talking about? What other business do you have people that patronize that business that don't have a right to give reviews on the business? Where's the business? What business is this? I'm lost. You don't want any feedback. Just give us your money, show up to the games, buy our TV packages, watch, and shut up. And it's like, but bro, that dude is not playing. Shut up. You never played defense. Shut up. Shut it up. Shut up. Shut up. You never played defense before. I never seen you on a court. You never played collegiately. You never played professionally or internationally. Why do you feel like you have a right to say anything? It's like, bro, because I paid. Hello? See how that works? Because I paid. Your own line of reasoning, even you don't believe it. Because there's nothing you would pay for that's service-based or some type of product. And if they don't deliver on it, you don't complain about it. What's the thing? Like, imagine if we applied this logic to other things in life. It's like you go to catch a plane. You pay all this money. Plane's supposed to be there at 8 o'clock. Shows up at 11. You go to the window, the door. What's happening? Why are you guys taking so long? Sit your ass down. You don't get to ask us why you took so long. Are you a pilot? Have you ever built a plane? You lose your mind. But we supposed to take you seriously with this ridiculous line of thinking. This is the problem. And essentially, that's what Charles is saying. You don't get to create a crappy product, then complain when people call you out for it. If you want people to stop, get better. Make a better product. Make a better product. Just like Jim Rohn, I remember the quote he said, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Get better. How about that? These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you guys in the next show. I'm out. Peace.